Okay, let's talk troubleshooting. You got your one compact makeup, you got your brushes, you're so excited to put it on, and you start playing with it and you're like, this is not what it looked like when Tracy put it on. You might be feeling disappointed, duped, like I was just using a filter the whole time. I felt that way too. You are not alone. This makeup is completely different from any other type of makeup. And so there are some things you need to learn about it, and I'm gonna help you troubleshoot. Now, there are those people who put it on the first time and love it. They're lucky. I wasn't one of those. When I put it on, I felt like a greasy, cakey, sticky mess. I felt like it accentuated all the flaws in my skin rather than helping to disguise them. And I honestly hated it, which I didn't want to because I had already signed up to be an artist. So I was like, I need to fix this because I've already put my name on the line here. How do I fix it? So the first thing my upline Tabitha told me is there is an adjustment period. And I kind of rolled my eyes like, what do you mean an adjustment period? That sounds so dumb. Well, my skin was used to having all the moisture sucked out of it by my foundation. So now when I'm putting creams on that are actually nourishing and helping my skin, it's sort of freaking out because it's used to having to produce extra moisture to keep my skin moisturized because I was sucking the life out of it. Now it doesn't need to do that, but your skin doesn't know that immediately. Some people might feel really dry. So there's two extremes. You might be feeling really dry. You might be feeling really greasy. Either way, it's just your skin adapting to these products. But I'm going to give you a few tips and tricks to help you get through that process. Number one, if you're feeling greasy, use a setting powder. We have the Vanilla Dust setting powder, or you can use a powder that you have laying around. You can go get one at Walmart. It doesn't matter. Use a setting powder and use blotting tissues to help with that excess moisture. And know that it's just a matter of time before it ends. Sorry, I have all my little props over here. When I first started, I tried to use the Seint setting spray. It made me even worse. I was like, I don't understand. This just makes me greasier. So I researched, and I found this Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. It was the only thing that would help like mattify my face to the point where I didn't feel like I was just leaving makeup on everything that I touched. So in the beginning, I highly recommend this. I've had this since July and you know, it's almost still half full. A little bit goes a long ways. Now that my face has adjusted, I can use the Seint setting spray. So it really is just a matter of time before your skin will adjust. But in the meantime, if you're feeling greasy, go for this. If you're feeling dry, I highly recommend you add in the Seint setting spray. It adds that dewy glow that you see. I don't have it on, so let me spray it on. That's brush cleaner. I just put brush cleaner on my face. We'll see what brush cleaner does. Okay, so you won't be able to see the dewy glow, I'm sorry, unless the brush cleaner leaves a dewy glow. I've been looking for my brush cleaner though. So that's a relief. I found it. Okay. Another thing that I added in was the Seint cream. This is the moisturizer. I use my other skincare at night still, but I use this in the morning. I wash my face with a microfiber towel, and then that stuff, I don't like the smell of the brush cleaner. And so now that I'm constantly breathing it in, I'm having a little bit of a hard time. Okay, am I like the most professional video producer ever? Yeah. Okay, so this works as a primer on your skin. So whether you're greasy, dry, I think this is the best thing for people who just want to feel like they have a primer on but don't want to add another layer. So I put this on about 15 minutes before I apply my makeup, and I love it. So I use this every morning. It has massively helped. Another thing is exfoliating. If you are not exfoliating twice a week, you have a whole bunch of dead skin cells on your face that are going to make your makeup go on not smooth and dewy and glowy. So I highly recommend you get a tinkle. This is an off-brand of a Tinkle, but it's a razor, and I go through and I can't remember what it's called, dermaplane, I think, my skin twice a week. And actually, I do this once a week. Sorry, I do this once a week, and then a few days later, I will do an exfoliating like face wash. So once a week with this, but exfoliate twice a week. Okay. This is not our Seint Beauty Blender. I don't know where my beauty blenders are at, but this is sorry, this. Okay. Then the Perfector sponge or a beauty blender. This is just a regular beauty blender. The Perfector sponge is amazing. I feel like it's more marshmallowy and I don't know. But if you're having problem with excess like caking and fine lines, it probably means you have too much product. And the best way to get it off is to get this wet and then squeeze the living daylights out of it. I use like a cotton towel, and then I also use a paper towel, and then I let it sit and air dry while I'm doing my makeup. And then the final thing that I do is go in. It's like so dry that you can barely tell it's wet, but it is. And then you go through and pick up the excess, and that's really gonna help if you're feeling like product is settling in places. This is a magic maker. Now, if you have mature skin, I can't make a tutorial on mature skin, but I can tell you a story and point you to a video. So my mother-in-law was in town a couple weeks ago, and she's like, Tracy, I really want to try your makeup. And I'm like, oh, it's so amazing. You're going to love it. So we sit down and do our makeup together, and I have her apply it the way that I apply it. And when we got done, I felt like I'd been living a lie. I was like, this is not wonderful makeup. You look worse. And she just laughed and laughed. But I was like having a panic attack. I'm like, you know, if I believe in something and I'm putting my name out there behind it, I want to know that it's going to work for everybody. It's like, apparently if you have mature skin, this doesn't work. Well, we calmed down after we laughed really hard. And then we found some tutorials of how to apply for mature skin. And so I'm going to link one of those. This gal is, I can't remember her name right now, but she's great. She has great application techniques and a lot of different videos. So you can it can help you troubleshoot whatever you may be dealing with. But application is just different with mature skin. You get to go a lot lighter, and you need a lot less product than even I do. And I don't need a lot of product. So you can imagine your Seint bill is going to be very, very low. So yeah, those are my tips and tricks. The number one thing is time. For me, it took my skin months to adapt, honestly. But it was also July in South Dakota where the humidity is insane. But I just felt like every month it went on nicer and looked better. And finally by like October, I was like, oh, this is what this is supposed to be like. A lot of people, it just takes a couple of weeks. They say 1 to 3 weeks on average. So time is the most important thing for you to give yourself, but also taking and applying these tips, with the exception of don't spray brush cleaner on your face. You should be rocking and rolling and feeling a lot better. But I am here to help you troubleshoot. If you're trying all the things and nothing is working, let me know, and I'll help you. All right, that is it. I love you. Jesus loves you more. Have the best day. Okay. So the brush cleaner, this is an edit a few hours later. Brush cleaner didn't really work. It wasn't terrible. It smelled bad. And just so you guys don't think I'm total idiots, they look total idiots. I'm a total idiot. They look really similar, light gray, white. Anyway, I thought I should do the actual setting spray to show you. Oh, it smells so much better. See how it's kind of, it's dewy. It's not at all like a cleaner. So if you're wanting more of that dewiness, I mean, granted it has to dry, so it might get a little less dewy, but that's the point of this, and it's really good for dry skin. So, all right, I love you. Jesus loves you more.